All right, welcome everybody to a product spotlight on a Wednesday. Today's going to be another great show. We have Ken Semler. Impressive Building Systems is an offsite modular manufacturing company that utilizes a cost-effective and efficient manufacturing process to provide hyper-optimized products and services to developers and investors. Today, we will learn about two distinctly different projects benefiting from the strategic value offsite construction offers, along with the new factory that they have just opened up. So, number one, California, they're doing an awesome project on Catalina Island, high-density resort location where volumetric modules were manufactured in Nevada and shipped via barge to the island. Rapid completion means less disturbance to both neighbors and the delicate ecosystem off the coast of Southern California. We will also be talking a little bit about the North Carolina floods and how they are helping out with the flood victims there. Impressive Building Systems is focused on single-family developments, build-to-rent investors, multifamily developers, and others in the living spaces markets that want to utilize modular construction and needs a partner that can deliver the finished product to the job site. So they are your go-to place, not only for building, supplying, but also manufacturing homes. But before we get into that, we have to thank our sponsors. Thank you to Forward Solutions Group, Ben Hershey and Joe Butler. They are a team with more than 175 years of experience developing and specifying manufacturing for panelized and volumetric modular industries with best practices in development and implementation. They offer consulting with investors, developers, and manufacturers and builders in using offsite manufacturing methods. Forward Solutions is driving companies to succeed where others have failed. Please reach out to Ben at forwardsolutionsgroup.com. Howick is also one of our amazing sponsors. So a big shout out to Howick, because Howick is a pioneer in the technology of precision light steel roll forming machines. For over 40 years, their commitment to innovation in cold form steel, also known as light gauge steel, precision manufacturing, uncompromising quality, and exemplary customer service have defined the Howick way. Their commitment underpins the competitive advantage enjoyed by their customers. To learn more, visit their website, howickltd.com. Once again, Forward and Howick, thank you so much for being sponsors, and thank you for supporting the offsite construction industry and everything that we are doing moving forward. All right, without further ado, let's bring in the man himself, the one, the only. I need a platform to stand at eye level with him, Ken Semler. What's happening, Ken?
Everything, man. How about you?
Oh man, doing great. No complaints on this end. So, Ken, you got a lot going on. You've been on the show several times. You and I, we've run in the same lanes multiple times throughout our 20 years of seeing each other out in the field. Why don't you give everybody a little overview of who you are, who Impressive Modular is, who Impressive Franchising is, and who Impressive Building Systems manufacturing is, and then
you still forgot a few.
Jump into it, my friend.
Well, years ago, I started in doing all-site modular construction. Really adapted it to do custom home building in my local area. I'm located west of Washington, D.C., within 20 minutes of 4 states. And we really grew into modular. And then after the Great Recession, we took a slightly different direction, and I wanted to become a nationwide modular builder, and none existed at the time. And so it was a really great opportunity for me to get nationwide. It took me about 5 years. I'm probably the most licensed and tested contractor in the country. And so we work in 42 states. Fast forward into about 2019, we were trying to figure out where our next growth opportunity was. And that was really the ability to get franchising. And that was born out of the fact that there was no training in our industry, and to bring new people in was a struggle. So we took, the experience, the knowledge we have the database, the sales, the #1 website, and we packaged that up into our Impressive brand. And we started offering that actually at the International Builder Show then in 2020. So we're a franchise in 42 states. We then started Impressive Modular Pro, really going after developers, not just custom home builders. Started running into capacity issues. COVID really, I think, brought in our industry the lack of capacity as the modular got popular. And I think we are there. Offsite construction has finally crossed over the top of the mountain, and it's starting to snowball, and capacity is an issue for everybody. We had more opportunities than we could keep up with. We particularly got a good one in South Carolina, and it made sense for us to start our own factory. So effective September 1st, we took possession of our first facility, started Impressive Building Systems, and here we are talking today, Dave.
Right. Well, you know what? It's easy to say that in a matter of 2 minutes, but you know, Ken, you guys started out as an Express Modular Home. You've had this vision ever since I have known you on how to really bring modular construction to the forefront of building technology, and you've been doing that with, you know, leaps and bounds. It seems like an overnight success.
Yeah.
but it's been a long time coming, and a lot of work, and a lot of trials and errors, as we know in this industry. So first of all, congratulations to you. I admire you. I look up to you just on everything you've done, for sure. All right. So here we are. You're building coast to coast. You're building on Catalina Islands. You know, I know the barge world. I've been there. I've done the barges, you know, on islands before. What was the necessity for this manufacturing facility? Was it something you always wanted to do, or is it because of the supply chain issue? So can we just clarify? Well, you always thought you'd do this?
So about 3 years ago, I mean, again, like you say, looking forward and trying to have a vision for where we were going, I knew we were going to be having capacity issues, because I work with probably 22, 25 factory partners across the country. And, you know, they've been great. I mean, even starting a factory, in all honesty, you know, based on, you know, you and I are part of the MHBA, work with the Building Systems Council. You know, the factories have been my partners for a long time, and they actually continue to support me. I mean, we've become friends and, you know, not just business associates. And so they really helped us out with the factory. And so, yes, I knew we were going to run out of capacity. In all honesty, COVID, I think, accelerated that. I thought we had probably another year or two. And, but if you're a developer now, you can't find a place, you know, where are you going to buy 100 homes from a factory in a year? Right. It's just not there. So really the capacity issue is what drove us with our opportunity. We're doing we're becoming a spec builder in a community here in South Carolina. You know, our goal is 120 homes a year in that community. And there was no way I could, you know, meet the demand for my own project. And it just really, so let's just say I was opportunistic. Everything came together.
In the long form, opportunistic. I mean, this is a long time coming. All right, so we're going to save the factory conversation for the second half of the show, because I mean, this is something that's really getting ready to take off, and you're hiring people, and we're going to talk about the technology and what you're going to be putting into the manufacturing process there. But let's get into what you guys are doing on Catalina Island. I think this is a really unique project that I personally can relate to on a very personal level, because I know the coordination that it takes to do island projects. I understand that, and I understand the complexities there. So tell us a little bit about what you have going on there, and it's getting a lot of press. Even Jerry McCaughey, I saw him, he asked you if he could go out there, you know, so why don't you tell us something about it?
Well, I mean, in all honesty, it's big press for a small home, but it's you know, hopefully, you know, you got to crawl before you walk. We had an opportunity with a contractor on Catalina Island trying to find their way into modular. And so a shout out to our guy, John Magnan, started working with the contractor developer there in Catalina. They really didn't know anything about modular, just knew they wanted to do it. We actually, like I said, work with about 20 up to 25 factories. So we started working with Extreme Cubes out of Henderson, Nevada. They started working with us through the design. And, you know, in that area, we really work through the design, order, delivery, and set of a project. And so, like you say, it's just it's tedious. So it was working with the manufacturer to get a production done when you're scheduling barges and cranes. And in Catalina, it's not like some islands we work on. Like you say, you've got the knowledge. Some islands we can take the ferry, get the modules out, and we only have to barge a crane out. In this case, there is no ferry. It's only people ferries to Catalina. So the houses, the modules, and the crane had to go out on a barge. And so John and you know, was instrumental in, you know, working through that with the builder, and we got the modules on the barge, got it delivered. Catalina's a tiny island, so you have to use basically yard trucks to get the modules around once it comes off at the boat launch or boat landing. And like you said, you know the drill. It's just coordination, tight. I mean, I haven't put the pictures up on LinkedIn yet, but the local preschool did a field trip out, and I've got pictures of all the kids just sitting on the wall across the street watching the modules go up. It was a preschool learning opportunity for our future modular generation.
Well, what a way to inspire them. In fact, you're right. When you look at the coordination on these barges, it's just not, can you fit on the barge? It's, can you get off on the other side? Is there enough room? Is there enough docking station? Can it carry the weight loads that you're looking to get off?
Enough draft at the launch. We've had situations where we've had to pick the other side of an island because the boat launch couldn't take the weight because it couldn't get close enough to the launch. It would sink too fast. So when you take a crane off, you got to take it off carefully. If it rolls one side or the other, bad things happen.
It does. It really does. So this project with John Magna, and I put it up. I put a way to go, John, up there. John's been a big supporter of the company of Dave Cooper Live for a long time, and he's a smart individual in the offsite world. So good job, John. Appreciate you for tuning in. So, with these island builds, this is just an example of the efficiency of modular, because there's a lack of labor on these islands. Typically, the cost to have labor working on these islands is super expensive to do it. And then you also have seasons, because a lot of the islands have tourist seasons, and you got to pick your battles on when you can actually get on a barge or a ferry to get over there. So are all of these things items you had to take into account?
Right. I mean, and you left off curfews, because there are certain times that you can only, if you can be on the island and it's not the tourist season, you can only pound nails or make noise from 9 to 4 or 9 to 3 on many, locations. And, in just a second, the other thing you said on the island is, it is so expensive to build on islands. One of the people had commented back from my LinkedIn post, well, I just don't know how that's cost effective to pay all that and take it out to an island. Apparently they've never worked on an island when you've got to pay hotel or pay for your crews to be on the island. You got to barge every 2x4 to the island.
That's right.
And if you're missing something, it's a 26-mile ferry ride from Catalina back to Los Angeles. That's not something that happens in 15 minutes and running down to the Lowe's or the Menards or whatever.
No.
So my volumetric modular, why it's, we joke about the effort. It's not an inconsequential level of effort, but it's concentrated. You have one day of a lot of concentrated effort. You worked hard to make it be that easy, but if it goes off without a hitch, it's the easiest way to work on an island.
Yeah, it is. And if you need an extra box of nails or a 2x4, just so I mean, you may catch the ferry off the island to go get it, but you might not make the ferry back to get back on the island.
Well, we've worked in some areas on the West Coast up around Seattle where the ferry schedule is at half schedule because of COVID. So they don't even go to the summer schedule in the summer. Makes it even worse.
It does. All right, everybody, if you are just joining us, we have Ken Semler on from Impressive Building Systems, Impressive Modular Franchising, and he's just impressive. Let's just put it like that. And something tells me you figured that out before you made the name up. So I love it. Hey, Ken, guess what? We are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and one other one now. We now have access to go live on Twitter.
Woo.
So we are live on all of those platforms, trying to spread the word of offsite construction and building it better. And today is no different. So please hit that like and share button right now. If you have not checked out Ken Semler's new manufacturing website, go there, ImpressiveBuildingSystems.com. Go take a look at it. And if you're not following Ken and everything that they are doing at Impressa and Jog Magna and his team that's out there, please go and follow them. You'll learn a lot, I promise you. Ken's always writing great articles and putting things out there. I think you're a full-time blogger, just like Gary on occasion.
I'm trying to give him a run for his money.
I bet. Well, that's good.
He's always going to win. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Dude, he can pump out an article in 5 seconds.
How he does it.
I'm telling you, he does it though. All right, let's hop back into this. All right, so you're building on the islands. Let's talk about the value of modular construction during natural disasters, such as the floods that have been taking place. What are you guys working on there? I know it's another project, but it's getting some attention.
Well, and that project, I mean, it was just a happenstance in all honesty for this one. And it was the sad thing is in North Carolina, just like we've had over the last, I'm going to say 2 or 3 months, we've had devastating floods across the country.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be, we had a house that was being delivered about 4 weeks ago to North Carolina, the devastating floods. I mean, I think they've got like 12 or 13 inches of rain in a couple of days. And, luckily we had canceled the delivery of that unit because the staging area for that unit means our modules would have floated down the river that day. And so we had to redo it, but there was a bridge we had to cross. So now we had to have the DOT recertify the bridge for the modules and the crane to cross. But when we got to the other side, the river had destroyed a lot of the road or undermined a lot of the road. So we had to get that recertified. So we did that. The customer's house, which just by inches or feet, the water stopped where the foundation had been installed. And so we were still safe there. But now the driveway caused us a lot of problems because of debris and undermining of the driveway. So, the big shout out over there is the Butch Mullinex of our team, because he had probably the single hardest set he's ever had in his entire life, getting that home staged, managed, and delivered. And so, and FEMA was there operating a command center just a mile or so from the job site, a few miles from the job site, based on the floods. But I mean, what we see, and typically, you probably see the same thing, Dave, is when there's natural disasters, people are so worried about just having a place to live and having food that it takes about 3 months or so before the phone really starts ringing from those disasters. Yeah. And so, I think we're going to see the uptick now because of everything that's happened through the summer. I think this fall is going to be, an opportunity for modular. And if these people are looking to get their homes rebuilt, across the country, every site builder I know is 10, 12, 14 months out. And while modular, we were talking about capacity earlier, while modular might be 6 months out now just because of factory capacity, that's still half the time or less that you would be getting it site built.
All right.
I like when
you got your lights on a timer?
Motion sensors at the new factory. Sorry, it's efficient. I wasn't moving enough.
So what about, I'm just curious on the foundation. Was that a slab? Was that a crawl space, or how did you do that?
In that case, it was a poured crawl space in the one in North Carolina. And actually in both areas, the one in California was a poured crawl also. Did you have to pump water out of it? Did you have the rat slab poured already or no? There was everything was fine with the slab. That was all taken care of. So the struggle was with the driveway and the access and some mechanical failures on the process. That's the
Wait, hey, no matter how much you plan in any job or construction, this comes back to, there's always something you could do. Like you've done thousands and thousands and thousands of homes at this point, and no matter how many times we do thousands of homes, there's always something new that makes you scratch your head. That's why we got bald spots, Ken, right? From scratching our heads.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say it's, and too, David, it's the plan A, B, and C is, every time we go to a job, the customer doesn't know we're on plan C already, but you have done this enough, you've done it enough that, it looks like it went off without a hitch and we're already on plan C and the customer doesn't know. But at the end of the day, a house is on a foundation, a house is under roof. And that's exactly what happened, in both locations yesterday. A house got on a foundation. We overcame the challenges and we just have professionals and we know what we're doing.
And there's the key right there, professionals. David's been with you for a long time. John's been with you and been in this industry for a long time. Everybody that I know that's on your team has been around and understands the industry, understands the logistics of the industry, and understands what it's like to have to manage not only the headaches on the job site, but also, the value they bring to the consumer that they're working with.
Yeah, it's what I mean. The question you had asked me is in the pre-show part was, we hire a lot of gray hair. That's what I tell people. We have a lot of experience on the team, and the trick now we're trying to do is hire the shadows, those younger people, to get that information out of our guys, right, and get the new team established with the knowledge that I don't want our guys to take their knowledge to retirement. And it's kind of like, I don't want to jump the gun, but here at the Impressive Building Systems, we've been really bringing in an A team, and it's been just really good. Like the Impressive name, and I think our reputation. We brought in some really great people from the industry, and good people attract good people, and that's what we really try to push and promote here at Impressive Modular.
Well, for sure. And we put a link up, a banner up there now, hiring Impressive Building Systems, Greenwood, South Carolina. So if you know somebody looking for work, or anybody that's looking to make a change, send them to Ken. And here's why. We haven't talked about this, Ken, but there's stuff I know about you that you don't know that I know about you.
This is scary.
I've competed against you for a lot of years. One of the things that's amazing about you and what your company and your team is all about is embracing new technology, embracing better ways of doing things. And this is why you're going to be so successful with a lot of the younger generation, because you have a background, not so much in IT, but you got some background in using, UI, the web interfaces and some of the other stuff that's out there. Talk to us a little bit about the technology that you use that helps you and your team be successful.
Well, it all starts from the beginning, and I'm going to say it's the consumer-facing side. It's the websites that it starts with that, and we have I'm going to say the marketing systems, the website, and then the sales systems, the management of that from behind. As we're just on the back end, our management of our projects. I mean, we're so spread across this country that as that project's going up in California yesterday, within minutes, I'm having pictures on my mobile phone in our system there that I can lay in my bed at night when I want to check on our projects at the end of the day. I have all the detailed documentation, any issue that we had, any service issue, any picture of the good things, any picture of a service thing. And then that feeds all the way through to the scheduling of service with the factories that we work with, the 20 factories. And we're trying to take that into our new factory. So we're trying to create systems that feed the existing systems that we've created in Impressive Modular. And everything I just told you, our customers can go online at any point and check on a status of a service issue. They can check on the status of their house. We're posting pictures of their house as it's being manufactured. It's just really all encompassing with pictures and video.
So just from your experience, Ken, and knowing the industry, as well as you do, how important is embracing technology to moving forward? So if we have other manufacturers that maybe you work with or don't work with, or other builders that are looking, to get into our market, how important is this technology, not only for the company to grow and succeed, but to the consumer as well?
Well, I mean, super important on every front. I mean, the one thing that I'm going to say we see is we have an industry that's we have a history, and I'm going to say this, that I feel like we're the new set of pioneers, and I say that because we had the first set of pioneers come in 30 years ago and worked hard, and the old saying is pioneers get arrows and settlers get homes, and the pioneers came in, they took all the arrows for the industry, they worked hard, and up until about 2020. As an industry, we keep on saying we're probably going to get over that hill and do it and get the settlers and homes for everybody. But I felt like, us as this next set of pioneers, we finally have the chance to do it. Technology is leading the way to do it. And that's, factory management systems. That's embracing, more than just AutoCAD, moving to Revit, BIM type products, factory floor management for materials handling. We're just seeing that in the old factories just, when I say older, is the current factories. It's hard. It's a hard change. I mean, let's just face it. I mean, it's an investment. It's a training, and they're trying this. On top of that, they have production they've got to make. And I won't say it's an impossible task, but it's a hard task. And but the faster, I think, it's easier for me because I'm starting fresh with a new factory that it truly is fresh. I have a big echo and a big facility right now that we're about to fill. But I think technology is going to play a big role going forward on all fronts.
Yeah, it is. But there's companies out there that do this all the time, that work with companies. Forward's one of our sponsors, Ben and Joe Butler and these guys. And, it's kind of a selfish plug, but I really like this group of people. But they do this all the time. They do go in and they can plug and play without disrupting the lines and add some things. It's easier when you have an empty, no orders going down the line to do stuff, but there is ways to do it. And I say that because we really want to see the industry grow. I talk to manufacturers all the time, some of the old guard and the new guard. And, my fear is with the old guard is, this is how we've always done it. It's going to get them run over time. And in my opinion, and I want to see people get better.
Yeah. And there is, I mean, there's a lot of good manufacturers with good labor forces. That's right. They just got to figure out the path to make good better is the key.
We like good better. Good better.
Good, better,
right,
best.
let's do a couple shout outs and then we're going to talk about the manufacturing facility. So who do we have? Here we go. You never met Tiffany before, have you, Ken?
Hey, I love Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany.
Congratulations, Ken, on all your success in moving this industry forward. Look forward to a plant tour. So do I. Can I come and live stream the plant, Ken?
Sure. You can come with Tiffany.
Tiffany, let's go. We have a road trip coming up. I'll pick you up on my way through Pennsylvania. All right, Damien Stapleton in the house from Dublin, Ireland. What happened to your picture, Damien? Hi, all. Greetings from Dublin. Great to see you. Well, here's no stranger to the danger. Greg U. Galding, heading to Omaha, Area 11 caucus. You and Ken are doing a great job. Greg, always a pleasure when you tune in. Ken, you know Greg, I'm assuming, yes?
Oh, yeah.
So, yep, great. Greg's a big supporter. And look where he's coming from, everybody. Twitch. That's where all the cool kids hang out. Greg is going back in time, and that's what's great about it. He's out there to reach out to the younger generation. Thanks, Greg. All right, we got Amanda Alexander. Hi, Ken. Looking forward to connecting with you here soon to talk logistics. Keep up the amazing work.
Hi, Amanda.
You know, it's always fun to jump on here and see who's all out there and do it. Jennifer is giving, and I'm giving John shout outs because one, I just like John. Shout out to John Magnet, Impressive Modular, Catalina Modular Home. Here's why I give the shout outs to John. John and I, we've talked over the years. We've had lunch on our road trip here. And that's, I think, even before you guys were doing your thing, or maybe you were already. I know you actually were, because I remember him saying, he goes, I have so much coming at me from Ken, from your webs, right? From your marketing. And he really was.
Nobody can believe the stream when you come on board here.
Yep. I remember that, you know, and this is not a paid for advertisement for Impressa. I can just tell you now. Ken really knows this stuff when it comes to the IT. Maybe you should be building websites for builders.
I like what I'm doing.
I know. All right. Yeah, right. All right. Damien Stapleton says, would a Huey be an option as opposed to the ferry?
Actually, a Sikorsky has a limit of about 26,000 pounds. So if we could make it work, we've already looked into it, Damien.
Yeah, it's not inexpensive at all.
Yes.
It's not inexpensive. So, all right. Kelly says, way to go, John. John has a fan club out here. We got Tom Hardiman on here. Why did you pick South Carolina for factory location? There's a great question to lead us into the factory.
Yeah, no. So part of it was, like I say, being opportunistic. We knew we wanted to be in an area that we could get started in. The Southeast has probably the most, it has the highest deficit of homes in the nation, of being behind in need. We actually had a project that was coming up, like I said, that really we couldn't get enough production from our current factory existing relationships. And then we started looking for factories to start, like I said, with knowing we were going to be anchored with our project. And the reason we actually picked Greenwood, South Carolina, one, it had a great facility available that we could purchase, but we are almost sitting right in the middle. You couldn't almost pick it any better, of Asheville, Charlotte, Columbia, Atlanta, and Chattanooga, Greenville, Spartanburg area. We are like 1 to 2.5 hours from almost every one of those. You couldn't have picked a better central location. And this is a tremendous community. I mean, it's just an amazing community to start up in.
You know what? And it's growing. I mean, that whole Southeast or mid Southeast, whatever we call it, the Carolinas and Atlanta and that area. I mean, it's amazing the amount of growth that's happening and the amount of building that's going on down there. So, and you're right. There's a couple factories servicing that area, but not enough to keep up with the demand, is what you're saying.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get into this factory, Ken. Here's the nuts and bolts. We want to know everything about it. I want to know the size. I want to know the equipment you have in there. I want to know how many floors a day we're putting out the door, the technology. And I know you're not to the price per lineal foot or square foot or floor foot, however you're figuring it out, but we want all the good stuff. So everybody hears it first right here on Dave Cooper Live. So wherever you would like to start, let us know.
Okay. So the stuff that we know right now, it is a 243,000 square foot facility on just under 20 acres in Greenwood, South Carolina. We are working towards creating the facility is large enough. I mean, given that the most factories are 50 to 85,000 square feet, we essentially have 3 factories under one roof. And so what we're really creating here is 2 production lines. And the 2 production lines will probably be fed. One of the factories are actually probably going to be mostly a panelization and components factory, feeding the other 2 lines to be full volumetric modular coming out. I will say I have 3 initiatives that I will tell you when you talk about the vision that we've had and what we're doing. There are 3 things that I've challenged my team to do. And that's good. When I say challenge them, that's what we're going to do. Is 1, we're going to deliver modular homes without marriage walls. We're going to deliver houses with the foundations when we deliver them to the site. And we're going to do 20 wide modules coming out of this factory. So with those 3 things, I think that's going to make this factory substantially different than anyone in the Southeast. And we are, like I said, when you talk about how many line moves per day, well, I have our goals, but I'll tell you, I'm looking at a big echo right now in the factory. We have not started purchasing the equipment, but I will tell you that, we're going to do advanced mechanization. Shout out to Audubon. They've done amazing things. I don't have that much money. So we're taking a more, realistic approach for what we're doing at this. So we're, like I say, it's going to be advanced mechanization. We're doing a lot of things with really advanced jigging with some, I'm going to say, pneumatic hydraulic supports to do things. And our goal is, will we get to 10, 12 line moves per day? Will we get to 500 to 700 homes a year, out of this factory? I think that's our, a realistic goal for us to produce here. And, with opportunities for other developers, can we do that? And there's so much opportunity in the South that we can play here and probably start doing Impressive Building Systems 2 and Impressive Building Systems 3.
So, all right. You said no mate walls.
Yes.
Confirm that. You said no mate walls.
So no mate walls.
So everybody understands, because we're good at talking to ourselves, and I know what Ken means by that. But the mate wall is where sections of the modules come together, whether it's a single story or it's multi-stories. The mate walls are where the sections come together. So if there's no mate wall, Ken, if there's no mate wall, Ken, how do you put it together?
Secrets. No, no, actually through design. You're going to hear me say, you're probably going to be tired of hearing me say over the coming year, design, design, design. But through the design of the product, we can either create, so I'll caveat it with no visible mate wall, that through our designs, you won't be able to go see a thickened wall. We'll either offset the wall into one module and carry the load with LVL on the other side, or there will be turns and hallways, or so that you won't walk into any of our homes and notice a mate wall.
I love it. I love it. It's been a long time coming, and that's years of experience, because that's not an easy thing to do if you're new to this industry, even if you've been in it, like veterans like myself and Ken. So that's great that you're finding a way to actually do that, to where it's almost going to plug and play together versus 2 flat surfaces.
So that means all my drywall's finished. That means everything. It's just, I'll be taping corners on site, and that's it.
I don't know, man. I don't know where you put it all yet. All right, so that was mate walls. Now let's get into. Maybe, is that trying to tell me the show's too long? Maybe You said, did you say no you're going to ship it with foundation?
We're going to ship it with the foundation. That's our goal, is to ship it with the foundation.
Ken, I just want to make sure you're not, with the legalization of marijuana, you're not smoking too much of it here.
Nope, pure. I'll be in a cup. I promise.
So, all right, and I know you're not going to give us all the detail. So is that possible to ship a house with the weight loads of a foundation, or is it one of those other fancy foundations that we've been putting on the show out there? You just got a really good idea again.
We have a technology that we can literally ship. I mean, and I'm going to just, it's been being done in the educational world for modular classrooms now. Yep. We just have a slightly different way of doing it that will allow us to do it for residential, that we can literally take the, I will tell you the one secret, and the Ken Semler view of the world is one of the biggest detriments to modular that's kept it from developers is 2 floors. Is that production developer says, well, hold it, why am I going to go modular? Because you have to produce a floor to finish the kitchen and the bathrooms, but I have to pour a slab, and on that production developer, his slab is his first floor.
Yeah.
If I've got to go to the second floor, guess what? In modular, we have a ceiling, which is all, we have a ceiling, and then we have a second floor where the production builder just has a ceiling that is the second floor. And so because of that, they just can't get over the 2 floors in their pricing and production mindset.
That's right.
And we can overcome that. So that gives us access to lots of flat lots in the South that another modular builder can't produce in.
So this would be on something where you're doing, where it's in lieu of doing a slab.
Yes.
Okay. So makes a lot of sense then. And that's always, to the industry, been a problem in modular, is how do you do modular in the South on slabs without having to go into a full, at least a crawl space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was the third thing you said, Ken?
20 wides.
All right. So 20 wides. And Tom Hardiman made a good comment here because he's right. 20 wide. Good thing you're not shipping to Connecticut.
Amen.
Or your factory's not in Connecticut. Wouldn't that be a huge mistake on your part if you did that and didn't research it?
Well, so I'll give a shout out to, and credit where credit's due. There is a development company called Flywheel Development in Washington, D.C., and there is a factory on the Eastern Shore, the Delmarva Peninsula, Berica Homes. Yep. And Berica has produced 20 wide modules and taken to downtown Washington, D.C. So if you can do that, you can do it anywhere. And we are, they have a development, a block that they did 20 wides on in downtown DC. I have experience. We have our own transport, did have our own transport company, about ready to resurrect it with what we're doing here. And but we are primarily with this factory staying south of the North Carolina, Virginia line, which gives us access to slightly higher overpasses. And, we can deliver with what we're doing. We can deliver 20 wides. And that really is, the 20 wide becomes the magic number for townhouses. And 20 wide becomes the magic number for a lot of the infill lots that are 30-foot wide with 25-foot setbacks. Now I have my 2-story, 2-box 2-stack that's not 16 wide or 2 10 wides with all the finish on the marriage walls and everything. I have some mechanical connections and a stairs to fit, and all the exterior can be completed.
Wow, that's great. And Tom's right. I mean, in the South, it's a great market for that. The newer infrastructure, newer highways and super highways are down there. Even the bridges you can get under. So I think that's a really
South Carolina is a great place to start a new factory.
It is right. So talk about, you say you're getting into your own development. What is your development? Is it a single family for sale, single family for rent, multifamily? What are you going to be putting out there?
So we've teamed with a nearby community to the factory. We have it's an existing planned community that has about 2,700 lots. And we get to chew through about 120 a year with them. And so that'll be the production for our factory to get started, doing primarily single family homes. The community has a couple golf courses. It's got its own tennis, all the stuff that's makes it fun. It sits on a lake, and so of course there's sloping lots, so that gives us a chance to compete against the production builders where they can't work on slope lots because they all want to pour slabs, and it gives us the chance to come in modular and do full basements and on all the golf course and lake lots. Because guess what happens on a lake? Every lot has 4 to 8 topo lines in it.
Yeah. That's right. In other words, that means it's sloping, to those of you that may have been sleeping out there. It's sloping down. Or up, whatever. But if it's sloping up to the lake, you're in trouble.
Yeah. It's called a waterfall.
That'd be a bad day. All right, let's see. We got some more people out there to say hello to. Tom Reddy. Hey, guys, great story. Congratulations, Ken. Hey, great profile picture, Tom. You're looking all sophisticated there.
Yeah, there he is.
Good job. He does, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. Outstanding. Good to see you, Tom. Oh, hey, good thing he wasn't here earlier when we were talking about him. Gary's in the house. I joined late. It's a good thing you joined late, Gary, because we were having some fun at your expense prior to you joining us. But it was all good stuff, and it was all Ken. It had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. All right, we're going across the ocean. We got Henry Mickelberg out there, South Carolina to Catalina. Is one hell of a trek. Did you ship from South Carolina or truck it to LA? Well, actually, from Nevada to Catalina Island.
Yeah, we didn't build it out of the South Carolina factory. We used one of our partner factories in Nevada. It still gets shipped across from Las Vegas to Los Angeles.
That's right. Good to see you, Henry. And Henry, I got a follow up for you, so it'll be there shortly. All right, so let's get into the final details here, Ken. When is the factory going to be open? When are you going to start building, taking orders? When can we expect that to happen? And how can we help you get the right people involved in the factory?
Well, to start out, we are using ICC NTA as our third party. They're being a wonderful partner, helping us get up and running. We actually are starting with some build and play stations, much like you see some California factories, because we do have an immediate need to get working. So that is happening, and we will be producing units probably starting in November. Until we get a production line running, we believe we will have a production line running right about that mid first quarter area, getting up and running, but we will keep our build and play stations running until we get adequate capacity. We have enough room at the facility to do that. And so right now we are looking for employees. I hope everyone can go out to the website that David just brought up, Impressive Building Systems. And under that work for us, we have a great application automated where you can go register. We're looking for people in the, I'm going to say maintenance managers, production manager, QC manager, even a materials manager, support with HR. We're trying to, we're looking, obviously, we're growing. We're looking for, potential investors. And what we've done with this, our factory is we've brought in, and David, you mentioned earlier, we do franchises. We have one of our prospective franchisees actually starting as a development partner with us and an investor in the factory. And so we're looking for, developers who are looking to get into modular that need help, because I think one of the biggest things we didn't mention in this whole conversation is we vertically integrated the process. So we are doing not only the design with the developer, we're doing the construction in the factory, we are doing the delivery, we are doing the set, and we are doing the vertical completion of the product in the field. So that means as long as we get there and the horizontals are in, we will do the verticals. And I think that's going to be a great way to bring a lot of, I'm going to say, B and C level developers into modular that have, so far just been afraid or didn't have the capability or the knowledge base to do it. And I think we'll be great partners, and they'll be great partners for us.
So let's explain this a little bit. The horizontals are the foundation, slab, whatever it's going to be.
Well,
what do you consider
streets,
horizontal?
the curb, the water, the sewer, the septic. And then, at the site is if we are now delivering the foundation with the house, we just need utility connections at the site, and we deliver everything else. If it's you're going on a basement, does that developer, because he's already got the excavators there, most likely, does he deliver us a foundation with a sill plate, and we take it from there? But again, doing all the connections, we're doing all the intermodule connections and finishing, but we are doing the total set, delivery, and finish.
With foundations, Ken, and you're working such a wide area across the country and the islands. You guys have processes in place to work with these excavators, work with these foundation folks, because they you don't want them to be out of square, a half inch or 3/4 of an inch. There's no fudging.
Worse is wavy.
Yeah. So there's no fudging that, and that can be a concern, because a lot of foundation folks are okay with that because they figure the framer will adjust for it. How do you guys manage that? And then we're going to wrap up here.
Right. So just quickly from, in the Southeast, what we're doing with our community is it's 100% precast foundations. It's either going to be ideal wall or superior wall. Everything will go on 100% precast. That way we don't have to worry about wavy foundations. We don't have to worry about out of square foundations.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So let's see. We got a couple of comments. Henry's being Henry. I love it. Henry joins late. I got to put it up because he's a character. Henry joins late. Henry misses vital information. Henry asks stupid questions.
I like that.
He also said vertical integration is where it is at. If you have a turnkey solution for islands, that's an attractive option. It is a very attractive option for sure. All right, so I'm going to remove this one. And Ken, I'm going to have to do some selfish plugs of my own for tomorrow. So let me stop this share screen. Tomorrow, everybody, we have a presentation with a company called Archistar that I am helping to host. We are launching here in the United States, and I'm going to share this screen, the future of home building technology. You definitely want to attend this. And let me tell you why. Imagine if you are sitting at your desk and you want to find land, and you want to find land for 10 houses, 150 houses, or a full building, you can find it right from your desktop wherever you work. That's what else it'll do. It'll develop your site plan with you, all from the desk. You didn't send anybody to the field. And it may just know all the codes. And it'll generate designs, whether they're your plans or other plans. And the best part about it is it can kick those designs out into a CAD file. Imagine a program where you can go into a building department, a zoning meeting, and on the fly get approvals and make changes without having to wait 2 months to come back again. These are the types of things that are happening in our industry in a very, very big way. And this is launching here in the United States. And we're going to do the launch on Thursday. So information's there. I know Jen's going to be putting out more information on how to join the webinar, but please go here and register right there, Archistar.com/home building, and join us for this, because it will change how you look for land. It will change how you develop land, and it will change how you sell homes, because it can also be used by the home communities and the salespeople or the building consultants, home consultants, whatever you call them within your communities, as a tool that they have never had before to sell that next house for you. So it's cool stuff. What do you think, Ken? You going to be there?
I'm writing it down right now. Of course I am.
Well, I hope everybody's going to be there. And let me just see here. I think we actually have a banner, and I will put that up as well. And then Ken, we will also, I know you're not going to be there, BCMC. We're going to be at BCMC in Omaha, Nebraska, starting this Sunday. We're arriving. We will be there all week, live streaming our show. To find us, we will be set up in the SBCA's booth. That's right, the SBCA's booth. Come and see us while we're there. We're going to be live streaming not only what's happening at the trade shows, we're going to have some roundtable discussions. Heck, I may even live stream from the golf course before there's too many drinks that's been served. Before, for sure. I don't want anybody hitting golf balls at me, so let's just keep that in mind. But we're going to have a lot of fun there as well. And also make sure, if you're not at IBS or registered for IBS, register. We have full access press pass this year, Ken. I can go anywhere. I can go in all little private rooms and get the press and the knowledge and have some fun and help grow the industry. How cool is that?
And more drinks.
And more drinks. That's right. I know you'll be at the International Builder Show speaking, because you have a speaking engagement as well. Why don't you tell everybody what that is?
Yeah, we so actually the main education sessions, we'll be on the floor talking about using well, like I was saying earlier, you're going to be tired of hearing me say design. It's designing for modular, as is the session at the International Builder Show. And then I'll be doing a bunch of sessions in the lounges and the centrals that'll be really talking about, being successful with modular, first time developing with modular, using it for custom home building. So you'll see me in probably 4 or 5 presentations overall at the IBC this year.
4 or 5. And starting factories. I mean, you're just a madman. That's awesome. You know what that means? That means you have a great team of people to help you be successful.
That's true. I have the A team. Thank you.
Yep. That's to me, that's what I hear when you say that, because it's not just you out there doing it. You have a team of people that are really helping you be successful.
Yeah,
so
I have the best team in the world.
That is what it's about. All right, everybody, listen, please hit that like and share button one last time. If you're not following Ken, please follow Ken. If you're not following Gary Fleischer, you should be following Gary Fleischer as well. He's putting out great info all the time. I love pumping Gary every once in a while, since we said so many negative things about him earlier in the show.
You did. I was fine.
I did not. I'm teasing. That's what. Now Gary's going to have to watch the whole show. See, I sucked him into watching the whole show. Well, listen, Ken, you're doing amazing stuff. I look forward to showcasing more of your work as we get further down the road. Thank you to our sponsor, Forward Solutions Group and Howick Ltd. You have a great day, Ken. I'll come back to you after the outro here, and everybody else out there, we will see you Friday, BS Friday. I'm Dave Cooper. Thanks for watching. Bye now.
Thanks.